is another one. For something like a restaurant or a bakery, that would be huge because people pin food more than they pin anything else. You can also find ways to incorporate Pinterest for your business. Even if it's financial services or something, you can pin some travel things. And I'm going to tell you right now, whatever you pin, whatever you put on the internet, make sure that you put a link back to your site. Because that's going to generate, does anybody know what SEO is? Search engine optimization. That is basically the term for when you Google yourself, where you pop up. When you Google gluten-free bakery, where you're going to pop up compared to all the other ones. There are ways I'll show you how to compare yourself to other businesses, but I suggest having a profile for every single one of these. And even if you don't pin something that's, we use an electrician as an example when we were talking about this, and we can use Facebook as an example, but putting a tutorial on your Facebook for maybe something like how to change an outlet from a, excuse my terms, like 2-prong to like 3-prong or something like that, that will generate traffic. We actually Googled something like that, and there was a video that had over 100,000 views. And there was multiple ones. Like you could probably put something on how to change a lighting fixture. And that, just make sure that you put it under your business page and that everything links back to your website. Because everything that links back to your website improves your SEO ranking, which will in turn improve when people Google you or Yahoo you, if anybody ever does that. Probably not. But. So have all these. If you need help setting them up, I would completely be willing to help you guys set these up. Yep.
Can we talk a little bit about LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is actually the fastest growing out of all of these. It's very important for people who are in the financial services industry or professional services. If you're a restaurant or a bakery, maybe not so much. I still suggest having a profile, maybe a personal profile, but you can build business profiles, and it's basically like the Facebook for the business world. It's like a resume online, but you can see connections. Like I'm sure if I went to Dave's page, his LinkedIn page, I would see that I'm connected to him by like 50 people. And I use it a lot when I interview people. I search them on LinkedIn and we'll see their job history. You can get recommendations. You can get what it's called endorsed for certain skills. So I can actually like pull up my LinkedIn just to kind of show you. Has anybody not seen LinkedIn before? Okay, I'll pull up a LinkedIn and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so it's the same as Facebook. I mean, you have like an update where you can kind of tell people what you're doing. You can search jobs just like, do you guys remember monster.com? Just like that. You can look at different companies. So this is my company right here. If I'm looking for a job and I want to see a profile on a company, I'll check it out. This is how many people are following my company. These are how many people that work for me that are on LinkedIn. Apparently not all of my employees are on LinkedIn, but I can click that and check out who works here. A couple of these are interns and some sales guys, sales managers, stuff like that. But we can look at my profile. Again, this is for people, even if you're not looking for a job. I'm not looking for a job, I have my company, but I have this on here. It's really, really important because people can find my company through this. And I'll show you later when I look through the analytics of my website that people actually do end up at my website through LinkedIn. So you kind of look, I just kind of tell people, what I'm about, positions that I work on, and then all of my recommendations. These are former clients, former people I've worked with, the companies that I've worked for. And then this is the endorsement part, which is really cool. And I actually find it interesting that more people endorse me for event planning. But people can go in and choose and say, well, I know this guy, this is what he's good at. And apparently I'm good at event planning, which is something I used to do a long time ago and I haven't really done in the past. But people remember that. And so I look at it when I'm hiring a sales guy. I need to see somebody that has a lot of these numbers for sales. So LinkedIn, again, it's free. Everything that we're going to talk about here is free, and that's another philosophy I have for business, is I don't pay anybody anything that I can do myself, and there are a lot of ways to do things for free that can probably help you out a lot better than paying somebody to do it. An example, we just talked about a website. I can get you a website that looks like it costs $10,000 for $100, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So that's LinkedIn. Is there any questions about anything? We're going to talk a little bit more about social media and probably move on.
I just add one thing about LinkedIn. I am a huge fan of LinkedIn, and there are groups on LinkedIn that you can join, and those groups help you leverage information, create networks, and get into things. So I've got a little something I'm working on right now, and I was digging around the other day, and I found a couple groups that might help me get to that. It's kind of a stretch goal I've had for a long time. So I was telling Fran today that I managed to join a couple of groups that I think is going to actually help me get there. So it can be subject, it can be industry, it can be interest. So it's pretty neat. There's lots of good things you can do with that. And there's no kitty pictures involved.
And LinkedIn is something that every single person in this room can utilize as far as getting new business goes. Financial clients, the chamber, you could go in there and look at businesses on LinkedIn and be like, wow, these guys aren't chamber members, hit them up. Everybody in this room is a salesman because you own your own business, so you're selling yourself. So you could honestly research your potential clients on LinkedIn, and I mean, these are the new phone books. I don't know the last time I even saw a phone book. So yeah, LinkedIn, Facebook, let's move on. And
so what about the endorsements on LinkedIn? I've been getting endorsements from people, you know, in a previous life that they wouldn't even necessarily know if I was good at this or not.
That's the thing about LinkedIn is, and
I've got to grow it the way you should be growing it, yes.
You can reach out for people for endorsements. A lot of people do that for me, and I have no problem giving an endorsement or a recommendation as long as it's truthful. Just like when people leave you as a reference, it's kind of a responsibility, kind of, I guess, out of like common courtesy to let people know, hey, I left you as a reference, or I'm going to ask you to do this. Can you do it for me? It's not really fair to I don't think it's fair to just go endorse somebody for a bunch of things if you don't really know them. As a business owner, I would never do that.
Right,
So
right.
You can't help it though, but they can't endorse you unless you're connected to them. So
I guess on the other side of that, how would you go about, I mean, because I'm just sitting there, I mean, the people I'm connected with don't know to come even look at my skills to endorse me. And so how can I say, hey, you know, I know you in this capacity, and you know how I've done this.
Well, LinkedIn basically has email built into it, and they do have a template already set up that says, it literally says, will you endorse me? And you can go through and choose which contacts you want, and you can personalize the message. So I actually sent it out to all my contacts and didn't personalize it, and that's what I ended up with. But you could say, oh Dave, I worked with you on getting you a home loan, can you endorse me for financing? Or something like that. But people can also go in and endorse you without you asking them, and the only way that they can do that is if they're connected to you. So I would say sign up for LinkedIn, it's free, and you can also, as a business owner, I sign up for the premium. It costs me like $9.99 a month or something, because then I can see more people's profiles. With the free one, you can only see X amount, I don't know, I think it's like 5 or 10 people's profiles in a period of time. I don't know the exact numbers, but for like $10 a month, you can view endless profiles. And I use it to view my competitors, to see what they got going on, what clients they're talking to, and make sure that, you know, I'm not missing something in my world.
I use the free one, and there aren't really very many limitations on it.
Right.
So if someone is interested in doing LinkedIn, I would suggest using the free one, because there's really no sense in paying for it.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for it.
Every single one of these is free, and just by signing up and connecting your website, again, I can't stress enough, it will help you out, help people find you better. Another thing, measurable, I put basically free too, because you can do advertising on all of these platforms. I do advertising on Facebook once in a while when I'm running a specific campaign, but for somebody like a tax accountant or something, I would say in like January or February, you start targeting your advertising. The cool thing about Facebook is you can honestly set your budgets, and you can honestly say that you can put, I only want, I don't know, people over 25 to 35 in this zip code, and specifically target that, and I only want to pay 25 cents per click to my website. And Facebook will come up with the algorithm to do that. It's measurable too. I set goals for all of my social media sites, and all of my staff knows that, hey, we need to hit this goal, and I throw a pizza party for them when we hit our goals. On social media, on sales, on expanding into new territories, all of those goals. But this is the most measurable one besides a gross dollar amount. Is you can say, hey, I tell my staff, if we hit 5,000, when we hit 5,000 fans, I throw them a pizza party on Facebook. Or this month we need to have 900 people talking about us. Now those are pretty big numbers. I mean, most of my competitors are probably half of that, if that. But they don't focus on this, and they don't understand that this, for my world, this does a lot of business for me. An example would be Pinterest has made my company over $10,000 in profit in 2 months. Because I ran a contest through Facebook. This is how you do it. You run a contest in Pinterest through Facebook. So they're hitting your Pinterest, they're hitting your Facebook, and they're going to your website. So my contest was, does anybody know what Pinterest is? Does anybody not know what it is? Do you know what Pinterest is? Okay. So I ran a contest, and I tried to figure out a way to get people to hit every single website. So I said, pick your favorite garment out of our garment section of our website, pin it to your Pinterest board, title it College Hill Contest, and then post a link to your Pinterest board on our Facebook. Now, they did all those things, meaning they went to all of those sites. There was this garment called the Bella Slouchy Fleece, and it cost me $14.99, and it's, do you guys remember in the 80s, like the off-the-shoulder sweatshirts? It's one of those, and I think maybe 16 or 17 girls pinned this garment. They're like, this is my favorite one. And their friends, they saw it, and then their friends saw it. And in the next few days, we started getting website hits. We have a quick quote section. I was getting 5, and I was getting 10. And I started getting hundreds a day. How can we buy this product? And we didn't even sell it, because we don't sell blank products. We sell custom apparel. So I was like, man, I gotta figure out a way to sell this, because most of the companies that we're set up with, they don't allow us to sell retail. It's wholesale, then I have to decorate it and sell it. So I called the company, I said, this is super popular, can I sell these blank? They're like, oh yeah, no problem. We don't have retail locations, go ahead. So I built a link to my web store, and I started responding to all of these. And they started telling their friends, and Pinterest took off. These things have been repinned hundreds of thousands of times. I get over 60,000 hits every time I look at my website. It's about 60,000 every 2 months for just this. And I'll show you guys that. And again, it makes me about $5,000 profit a month from something that I didn't have to do a single sale for. I ran a contest on Facebook. So bakery could be the same thing. You could post a cookie that looks so good that everybody wants. And once I get you set up with an e-commerce store, I'll show you exactly how to do that. You'll be able to sell thousands. So don't neglect any of these. I'm not saying focus on all of them hours and hours a day. I honestly probably focus maybe 30 minutes max on these a day, but they're very, very important. These, and excuse me, if people disagree, like that's completely fine, but my opinion is these are the new print advertising. Print advertising is pretty much a thing of the past for the most part, depending on what your market is. For me, there's not very many sorority women that pick up Moscow Pullman Daily and look for custom apparel in it. So the amount of impressions I get on here that's completely free is a million times more than I would get in a Moscow Pullman Daily or something like that.